move now to a soapbox. Lee Robertson, founder of Octomembers, is going to do a 5-minute, is it tirade against advisor charging? No. No, but a soapbox about advisor fees under pressure. How will they evolve? Lee, thank you.
Thank you. So I'm Lee Robertson. I'm a recovering wealth manager. The bona fides are about 30 years in. I went through the whole gamut of direct sales, commission only, basic plus commission, basic plus bonus, salaried, etc. This was a great opportunity, actually, to just talk about where I think the direction I might think I might go. I'm in the fortunate position of having just sold a business. So I get this clean sheet of paper to sit down and think about how I might build a business today. How might I differentiate it? I have a track record, I think, of being fairly early, not always the earliest, but we were very early with Transact. We were very early fee-biased, and we were very, very early fee-based, and we were particularly early, I think, bringing discretionary into the firm. But that's all in the past. Looking at the future, clean white sheet of paper, I should probably say since I've been filmed. This is a purely conceptual exercise. I'm not planning a new business, honest gov. So if I look back, the history is 5% initial, then it was 3 plus a half, then it was 1 to 3% plus 0.7 to 1.25, plus platform fees, plus product fees, plus advice fees. It's pretty expensive, I think. For a client out there. And there's also this asymmetry of knowledge, where we put things into glossy brochures, great quotes that no one can read, even the advisors half the time. When I look at some of the stuff I get, I think I've no idea where to start. Is this client-centric? I don't know. If I look back at the investment, and there are investment people in the room and know these numbers better than I do, if I look at the IA managed sector over the last 10 years, it's pretty much doubled your money with income reinvested, just the managed fund in the IA sector, which means advisor fees have pretty much doubled over the last 10 years. But the thing about advisor fees is they're client charges. They are a reduction in yield applied to the client. Then I look at, and this is just very ably mentioned by Dan, what the returns have been to a client. That's the growth element. Then I'll look at the reduction in yield element, and the reduction in yield element is running at twice that of the return to the client. Is that client-centric? Every advisor will talk about being client-centric. So that's, for me, a pretty interesting thing. Then I look at how would I build this new business if I was building one? How would I differentiate this time around if I was going to talk to potential new clients, to woo them away from other firms, to track them straight off? I would be talking probably to them about the benefits of lower cost charges. There are technology providers here today, and I was talking to one of them as I came in, who was showing me a great bit of paper on his own pension, which was showing if he just went into a managed fund at a reasonable cost, of which there are many now around about 0.3, 0.35, compared to DFM fund running at about 1.2 or whatever, the reduction in yield was monstrous. And that's when we get on to compounding. One of the great laws, Einstein, the best law ever. But there's something, and Graham Bentley talks a lot about this, it's called reverse compounding. It actually penalizes the longer-term savers. The higher the charges over the longer period of time, the worse it gets for the client. It runs into hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pounds. Then I look at advice businesses where if we talk about a client with 100,000, a 1% charge, that's £1,000 a year. That's probably de minimis for an advisor even to look after now. All this for me adds up to a pretty compelling statement about where thoughtful advisors may go in the future. I talked earlier about advisor fees and client charges doubling. Can we genuinely say, as advisors, can we genuinely say to a client, yes, but the complexity of your affairs has doubled? The risk to us for running your portfolio, why that's the client's problem, I've got no idea, has doubled. Therefore, I have to charge you double. I just genuinely don't think, looking at it with a clean sheet of paper, with no commercial interest at all, which I admit until August last year I did, would I as a client be comfortable with a reduction in yield figures? What might I be looking for? I'd definitely be looking for less cross-subsidy if I was a larger client, because I think there is still cross-subsidy going on. I'd be looking for a lower platform charge, probably, even if I understood platform charges. I would definitely be questioning active management or pure active management. I don't want to get into the active-passive debate. I think it's no longer a binary argument anyway. In fact, I never really did. But if I look at how many active managers actually long-term beat their benchmarks compared to the passive route or a smart beta route, that combination becomes pretty compelling. So I could give clients in a new business a completely new charging structure, probably. Yeah. I could say, with a reasonable degree of success, probably 4 out of 5, 80%, I could put you into a charging structure for fund management that is cheaper than the one you're in today. That's a big win for you. I then talk about compounding interest, and with the great bits of tech I can see, I could show them in pounds and pence what that would look like over the longer term. I would then look at some of the propositions out there. They are small firms, they are expensive. I have to say I'm with Phil on this. I don't think there's much difference between what I see in vertically integrated and smaller independent firms. In fact, I think smaller independent firms often are dearer. They're just clever about the way they put their charges across. And I said that as having run one. So I can give quick wins. I can get cheaper investment management. I can probably get cheaper platform access. There are new platforms coming all the while. I know, that has been driven out. In fact, today there was an announcement from one of the big platforms. They'd reduced the charges yet again. Fund managers are under price pressure. I think advisors are going to have to somehow square this circle and reduce the costs. So how would I take that forward, wrapping up? I would probably be talking to clients about flat fees, potentially. I might be talking about income-based fees, the Henrys, which is a new acronym I saw the other day, which is high earners, not rich yet, which I hadn't heard before, but I quite like. So Henrys, I might be talking about cap and collar fees. There's a de minimis fee to be a client, but actually once you get to a certain level, it is wrong for me to charge that much to you because it is just pure, massive pure profit. Larger clients respond to that. Clients are getting cleverer now, and they're becoming more informed. There's lots of people out there that are progressive firms already charging flat fees. I might be talking about cap and collar. I might be talking a combination of both. For me, do I think we're going to get there? Probably not in the short term. I think there's a huge vested interest in the system to have ad valorem fees, to be able to charge in the way that we have charged since we moved on from commission. But I think the early adopters, the thoughtful firms, and we're seeing some of them already, will be soaking up platform charges, driving down platform charges, driving down aggregate investment charges with a better degree of certainty than the small firm investment managers who are typically single points of failure, whose research may be good, but it's hard to document in evidence. It's a big, big plus for a client to hear someone say, I'm going to, above a certain limit, save you hundreds of thousands of pounds in this new advice model. Thank you very much.